Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. This is the Downtown Development Authority January meeting. Let's do our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, Ms. Harper's not here, so we're going to do a roll call. Supervisor File?
Here.
Chairman Dave Gittens here. Secretary Kimberly Harper is not here. Tara Hansen.
Here.
Sam Morocco.
Here.
John Doolin.
Here.
Gus Zortuna.
Here.
All right, we've got one absent. Very good. We've got our approval of the minutes from November 19th, 2025, which was our last meeting.
I didn't see those.
The minutes are not in here. I did see them in the email.
Packet. Let's see, were they?
They were not in the
They
packet
weren't.
either.
They were
in the
not.
email. No, they were not.
Okay, that's a first for this board.
Make a motion to move the approval of the minutes of the November 19th meeting to our next regularly scheduled meeting for approval.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Line item E, presentations. I don't believe we have anything till later with Dick Carlisle. Public comment. I don't see anybody online. Nobody in front of us. G, review of the agenda. Are there any additions or adjustments that we need to make to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And we are on H, financial matters, year-end 2025 report. Have you got anything for us, Mr. Carlisle?
I do.
All right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've been working with Linda Vance, who's the finance director, and, happy to report that we are really very closely on target to what we projected. If you would remember in the pro forma that was included as part of your investment strategy, we were predicting an ending fund balance of 2025 at 336,000. And right now we're actually, it's because because the tax collections don't end until February, we are at 317,000. I expect that number to change when the final final audit is done in April or May. I can't remember exactly when it is, but that number will change. From an expense standpoint, we were below what our budget was in 2025. So I think we're entering 2026 in very good shape. I spoke with Township Assessor, and he indicated that he believes the TIF capture is pretty much on target. There's not going to be any radical changes to that, which that's projected in 2026 to be around 440,000. So from a financial standpoint, right now you're sitting with at least a $317,000 fund balance going into 2026. And unless there's any unforeseen expenses that Linda and I, invoices that haven't come in, and we can't really, I can't identify what those might be. There might be some engineering bills from the Gateway Park, but we're still in very good shape entering 2026 with a very healthy fund balance and revenues projected of 441,000 in 2026. So I think so far so good.
Awesome, thank you. Any dialogue based on that? No. Line item I, we've got reports, resolutions, and recommendations. Tonight is our first meeting of the year, so we have to elect our officers. We have a chair seat, we have a vice chair, secretary, and treasurer seats.
I move to appoint Dave Gittens as the chairman.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is this one of those where we have to go individually?
Yeah.
Roll call?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, you do.
Gus Sertuna?
Aye.
Chuck File?
Aye.
Dave Gittens? Aye. Sam Morocco?
Yes.
Tara?
Yes.
John Doolin?
Yes.
All right. Any recommendations for vice chair?
I don't know who the vice chair is, but I'll make a motion to make John Doolin the vice chair.
I am currently
No.
vice chair.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, let me rethink that. That's fine. My
I'll
motion stands.
I second.
Okay.
No take back. Second.
Yeah, sorry, it's your done.
Gus?
Yes.
Chuck, you
Yes.
seconded?
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
Aye.
Sam, you, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good, okay.
We don't need a roll call.
So you notice that we all did ayes on this half. They said yes over there, so we go
Yeah,
yes here,
now
and
we
you all
all-
went to ayes over there. Okay.
That's the beautiful
just
thing about
following
the
you guys.
English
Is it a
language.
roll call or not a roll call?
It is a roll call.
It is a roll
Okay.
call.
You already did that.
Okay.
Okay, so next position, I guess, would be treasurer. Currently is Mr. Morocco.
It is.
I don't
I
know
am
if he
the
loves.
treasurer?
You are.
You've
yes.
been the treasurer for all of 2025.
I like that.
All right. So,
I don't know what my duties are, but I like it.
so I move that we make Sam Morocco the treasurer.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, I agree.
Roll call.
All right, Gus,
Yes.
Chuck, you seconded?
Yes.
I agree, yes. Sam Morocco?
Aye.
Tara?
Yes.
John
Yes.
Doolin? Okay. And lastly is secretary, who is currently Kimberly Harper, who's not here.
No, Kim's got it.
Would you like to make a motion?
Sure. Kim Harbor for
I second that.
secretary?
Yes, for secretary.
Yes.
Gus?
Yes.
Chuck? Dave Gittens, I vote yes.
I support the motion, yes.
Thank you, Sam. Tara?
Yes.
John Doolin?
Yes.
All right, so we've got our positions made. Moving on, I-2, to establish the 2026 meeting schedule. Currently, we do the third Wednesday at 6 PM in the Township Board meeting. Is that a conflict for anybody? Do we need to move it back? Do we need to move it forward? I think that Wednesday is obviously available, so we should keep it.
Yeah, they didn't post an actual schedule to go off of.
Yeah, they did. It's on the township website.
Oh, it wasn't in the packet, but
Okay.
okay, that's fine. We don't really conflict with other holidays, typically, so it
Mhm.
doesn't get jumped around since it's a Wednesday meeting, so we're probably safe just to say the.
Is the time okay? 6 o'clock?
Yes,
Can we make it earlier? 5:30?
I can do earlier.
I don't know about the TV guys, I mean, every meeting's at 6.
Yeah, I don't. I
I'm
can-
sure they would be
I have-
happy
I
to
have
be
some
off
pull
work
there.
early.
Pardon?
I said, I'm sure they'd be happy to be off work early. I'm all for 5:30. I think that'd be great.
I'm fine with it, I have to wait to come at 6, so.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
5:30 would be great.
Does that work for you?
It works for me. I feel like I remember Kim having a conflict at that time, because she's coming from a different city.
Okay, it might be a problem.
Work.
How about for right now, we approve that, I'll make a motion that for the,
Sam, real quick. So I do have a conflict, but this meeting would take priority. It conflicts with the PRSAC, Parks Rec and all that. So there's like 15 people on that board, so I'm very happy to step off that one and just stay here. But I just wanted to say that. So we'd have to move to a completely different week because it conflicts with every single one of their meetings. It's the exact same time.
Or you gotta pick a board.
Yeah, I would choose this one.
Okay.
But I know it creates problems for you.
I'd like to keep it.
I don't think I'm on that board.
No, but you gotta find somebody else if they wanna replace me.
Okay.
It sounds like if there's 15 people, they probably don't need to replace you.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
right away.
It's not something I have to get on right away, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna make a
15 sounds
motion
good.
that we keep the 2026 meeting schedule. Will follow the third Wednesday of the month, currently at 6 PM, until we confirm Kim, and then we can change the time at another meeting if necessary. I don't wanna do it without her.
Second.
All right, we've got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on, number 3, review of the proposed 2026 activities.
I'm back on again, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. I did prepare a brief report for the board, which was dated January 6th. Just want to say, this is the benefit of having both, the strategic investment plan and incorporating that in our budget considerations, because now it's fairly easy to report to you at the beginning of each year what you've already decided were your priorities for that year. Obviously, the largest priority has been the Dixie Highway project, and you have a progress report from Nowak and Frous in your packet, I believe. It was attached to my report.
Yep.
And, the bid documents are estimated for completion by January 23rd, and the project is anticipated to be bid in early February, which is a good time because of the types of contractors we're looking for are looking to line up their work for the spring. So we're anticipating a project award by early March. That, of course, recommendations will come to you from Nowak and Frous, and you will make the final decision, but it'll be based on some empirical evidence provided to you by the township engineers, along with our recommendations. So that's the Gateway project. The Pathway Enhancement Study, which you have approved and the Safety Path Committee has agreed to participate in, that work really can't begin until the snow disappears because the LiDAR survey work needs to have clear ground. So they're anticipating that mid to late March. Keep our fingers crossed, there won't be any snow on the ground, that we'll be able to begin that work, and that's going to be conducted throughout the year, although there'll be preliminary information provided to the board as that study is conducted. And then the third activity that is part of your strategic investment plan is to develop the landscape features design plan, which is just, it's not a detailed effort, but it's intended to provide you with some consistent design features as we go through and we march through the plan over the years, that you're going to be making decisions based on some consistent design features. For those who've been around a while, so Sam, you have been, this is exactly what we did with the Sashbar Road corridor, with the design features, some of which were implemented by the township with the lighting, the landscaping, and then the whole fence and design detail, which was implemented with, through when private investment occurred. That was part of the requirements that has occurred. So in other words, if you want to convey a consistent image with your investments in Dixie Highway, this landscape features design plan will be able to provide you guidance when we make improvements to the safety paths, and we provide the sitting areas, and the sort of the respite areas and the landscape areas, which we've talked about being done in nodes along Dixie Highway, that there'll be some consistency to it. And so that's the purpose of that. That's budgeted at $15,000, and we're not prepared yet to provide you with any detailed proposal on that, but we will do that by your next meeting. So those are the three, and which is, you know, three, in addition to whatever it is that you want to pursue, which I know the chairman has an item to discuss. That's a pretty healthy agenda for this year.
Great.
So that's it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. Line item 4 is the status report on the Gateway Park bidding. You kind of gave us a rundown
Yeah.
on that. So by the 23rd of January, we're expecting to have
RFP.
RFP ready to go, so we can put it out for bid early February.
That's correct.
I think that, you know, we discussed this last time, we tried to keep it local, that we would be really proactive on reaching out to all the landscapers in the community. So I think we probably need to get a subcommittee of people to do that, you know, actively, because if we're expecting bids in by February, they're gonna need some time to
No,
draw it
that'll
off.
be by March, by March. Well, you're correct, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well, here's what I would suggest. You know, we have, you know, traditionally, in projects in the township, assembled, you know, a list of bidders, which would include those that might be outside the township with whom we've had experience, or those from within the township. If you have names, we will include them on the bid list. Pardon me. So, you know, happy to do that.
yeah, so you're talking about, you know, sending out an email or something like that, blasting it out, putting it on the website. I think it wouldn't hurt for us to call landscapers. It's kind of their slow time, some of them. And just giving, you know, the best opportunity for those in the community and nearby to give us quality bids.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would not, that would not be an approach I would recommend,
Oh,
because it might smack of some type of favoritism being extended to any individual. This is a competitive bidding process. What I would prefer you do is provide us with the name so that everybody has, you know, an equal opportunity to bid on something within a prescribed township manner. So rather than individual board members contacting landscape firms, that would not be what I would recommend. What I would recommend is you provide us with the names and the addresses, and we will make sure that they receive the request.
okay, that's fair. Putting it out to public forum, that's probably fine, right? There's plenty of Facebook groups where we could put out saying that we're designing a gateway park, no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. As long as you're not contacting you personally, a specific
individuals.
firm with whom you are familiar with, I don't recommend that, because then there's an expectation, and then there's also a concern from the public that something's being steered somebody's way. It's much better if it's done in a normal, transparent, public process that we will, you know, that we do in a normal bidding process. But, you know, doing it in a, you know, broadcasting it in a generalized manner, that's not an issue.
Okay. Mr. Pop?
You know, we went through and we got exemptions from the procurement policy from the board of trustees to handle this. So I can understand maybe not going to a specific landscaping company, but can we restrict it to just Independence Township?
Well, if you can find a qualified bidder, yes. I mean, here's what the problem has been in the past. It has been meeting the township insurance requirements. That is where we've had the largest issue with some local contractors, especially in the landscape field, because they don't do public work. They do private work, and therefore the insurance requirements are considerably different than what you as a public body would expect. So if they can provide, if they can meet the township's, insurance requirements to the satisfaction of the township attorney, and you're protected, that's fine, we can give preference, but that's been, I will just tell you from past experience, that's been the biggest problem.
Doesn't that limit the smaller companies?
Oh, for sure.
I thought that's what we
It
got the
does.
exemption for.
This is not a small
Insurance.
project, by the way. I mean, here's the problem here. This is a project that involves, it's not just landscaping. I mean, it's concrete work, it's flat work, it's electrical, it's grading, it's drainage. I mean, this is not something, and there is interface with a public right of way. So, that's why insurance requirements to protect the township are extremely important. It does, but, it does limit it to those firms that can meet those requirements. And
The money.
I mean, unfortunately, I would just tell you, experience has been that a lot of landscape companies that simply do private landscaping don't want to try to meet those, don't, want to go to the expense of meeting those insurance requirements.
What are the insurance requirements? Do you know?
I
Is there a dollar
can't
amount?
tell you specifically, but it's, it's dealing with general liability, and, indemnification of the township.
Is there a dollar value though for the insurance that they have to carry?
Normally there is, yes.
What I found is.
I cannot, Tara, I can't tell you exactly what that is. I'm just relaying to you what most of our experience is with any type of, it's not just Independence Township, it's any kind of governmental agency, because, you presume some higher degree of responsibility when you're trying to protect the public and public dollars.
Dick, when we were doing other projects for the township in the past, our bigger challenge even than the insurance was that we don't give deposits, we don't pay until it's done, so you have to have a company big enough that can fund the whole thing and eat it until we go through our payment process, which isn't the day you're done either. There's delays in payment, because you gotta turn it in, wait a certain amount of time, it's gotta come to the board, we gotta approve the checks.
Why can't we approve installments then if
Yeah,
it's just coming to
draws or
ours?
something.
I'm
Well,
telling
I
you
think-
that the township just doesn't give any money in advance, and typically not draws, but that's something that we, Chuck, maybe you can check into, but, usually that's why you get stuck with the bigger companies, the insurance and the funding.
Didn't that have something to do with the procurement part though, that
Yeah,
we
I thought so,
approved? We
too.
didn't have to do that,
We
so
did
we
get the
would be able
exemption on the
to do?
procurement process, so.
Well, right, but is it that we don't have to go to the board and ask because it's already in our budget? Was the-
Yes.
Are we writing the checks? It wouldn't go to the board anyways. Doesn't it come out of our bank account?
It does.
Does the board approve every check we write?
That I don't know.
Okay, I didn't.
But
Well,
it's
it-
gonna
it
be,
is-
there's gonna be pushback if you start risking somebody being, first of all, you'd have to vet the company to make sure they had enough money if we couldn't make payments, and then who's going to inspect the work. It's gonna be a little bit more complicated, but, that's up to the companies we go after if they wanna make, just like anything, if you wanna make the investment. But I agree with Dick, a lot of the landscape companies work off of deposits and
Well, or
securing
sometimes
the
we
plants
just.
and doing all that in advance, and we're not gonna be able to do that for them.
Right, but like we could maybe buy we don't normally pay labor until the end, but you would pay for some of the
Material.
materials up front. When they go to buy the materials, we write that check and then there's proof that they've done that, but you're not paying labor until the end.
I guess you'd have to.
But it's just,
We'd have to check.
yeah.
You gotta look into it.
I mean, the first question would be, do we have to go to the board every time we write a check? That's number one, I guess.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
So my understanding, and it's been a little while since we did that exemption, is that we are not following the township. If it was the township, then absolutely everything Sam said is true. Here, because we got the exemption from the Board of Trustees for the procurement process. I believe we're cutting and because it's really our money, that this board can go through and authorize payments as needed. So I think we can redefine we can define the process and the payments however we want. So if we want to spend some money deposits, then we can do that. Insurance side of it, I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember exactly how that worked out. I know that we also gave ourselves the options of not having to have them divulge all their financials.
Right.
To
Right.
bid in
Yeah.
advance.
Yeah,
Right.
so, I mean, there was the idea that if, once they were awarded the contract, then they would have to demonstrate they had the financial wherewithal to be able to do
Sure,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't something they had to disclose up front.
Yeah, that made
Yeah,
it a little
the-
bit more easy to bid than all the
I
paperwork.
mean, just a lot of the landscapers will say screw
Well,
that.
Yes.
When they say
They
you
will.
gotta have your
Biggest
financials up
issue is
front, they're
proof
not
of
gonna.
insurance. The largest issue is proof of insurance, frankly. It's not, necessarily financial wherewithal, because, I mean, when the township has done bidding, has done any kind of project, frankly, our township engineers, our office are generally familiar with the kind of contractors that bid on these projects. But I think the biggest issue is indemnification of the township, and that includes you. You are a township entity from liability. That's by far the biggest issue. I think as far as what you're talking about with, payment policy, I mean, I think there can be some flexibility there. And, I'd be happy to work with the township supervisor and the township engineers on that issue further. That to me is much less of an issue than the ability to, to be able to provide proof of insurance.
Dick, just so I'm clear, I've done special events where I've got special events insurance. And so, I mean, even project-based insurance, I'm not sure that the insurance is that big of a constraint if they're going through and saying, okay, I'm gonna get the project, and they just put the pass-through cost of it through, which every company's gonna do anyways. Why is that such a big stumbling block, is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, generally because requirements for insurance for public projects versus private projects are tremendously different. In fact, most people who are contracting with a private, landscape company never even ask them about whether they have insurance or not. And private property owners are left liable if somebody gets injured on their property because the contractor isn't properly insuring their employees. There's obviously workers' comp, there's general liability, there's. So our requirements are meant, not just ours, all public entities' requirements are intended to protect the township from liability if an incident occurs on a construction site. So that's the biggest, I would suggest to you that is the biggest issue of all.
Okay, so it's really the workers' comp, because you can't turn that on and off that quick.
No, but it's also liability, and you're working in a public right-of-way. I mean, stuff can
liability.
definitely happen. There could be accidents occurred as a result of the work of the contractor, and that could involve, other people from that standpoint, and you don't want the township to be held liable for that.
Okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Can we look into, before we write that off, can we look into maybe if there's like a recommendation for an insurance rider that a smaller company could get through their insurance? And maybe that's part of the RFP requirement, is that they would have to have that, otherwise their bid would not be considered.
Well, they have to submit proof of insurance when they submit their bid.
Sure, but you're saying there's a specific township requirement. I think we should
Well,
add that.
that's disclosed in, the township insurance requirements are disclosed in the bidding process.
Okay.
So I will just tell you generally that companies that don't desire to meet those requirements generally do not bid. I mean, for many years, there's a very well-known landscape company, you all know who it is, that does excellent work, and I always try to encourage them to bid on township projects, and they simply did not want to assume the liability of doing a public project because they had a robust private business and simply did not want to do, they never did public work. So I'm just cautioning you about that. You know, there are big landscape companies and there's small landscape companies. And I think, you know, this is a highly visible and potential, you know, a project where there could be potential issues because of work close to a public right of way and close adjacent properties that you want to just make sure the township's protected. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I just don't wanna, I don't wanna limit people, you know, if they wanna limit themselves because it's not something that they
Yeah.
wanna sign up for, then
Well,
that's
they'll
one
make,
thing,
you know,
but I
they'll
think,
make that decision, but, and again, you know, we can have further discussions about this in terms of, you know, what those requirements are on a project of this size. But I will tell you that we would have to rely upon the advice of the township attorney's office because they're the ones that are responsible for protecting the township from that standpoint.
okay. Any other comments about that, about the park bidding?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Line item I-5, status report on safety path study. We talked about they're just gonna get started
Yeah.
once the snow's melted.
That's correct.
Okay. And do we have any time frame on how long it should take, as long as we have good weather? Like, talking
Well, I think
months?
their proposal,
Weeks?
their proposal indicated that, I mean, you know, I was gonna say that I believe that the field work is gonna take several months from that standpoint because we expanded the scope of the study by including, you know, the survey of underground and all that. So I mean, I believe by fall, we'll start to have some substantive information, you know, coming out of that whole study. But if you remember correctly, we did budget this over a period of 2 years, meaning not that it's gonna take a full 2 years, but that we did budget it so that all the field work could be done this year and the recommendations, once the weather, you know, turns poor again, the actual evaluation work and recommendations would start coming to the DDA board and the Safety Path Committee by the end of this year and the first part of next year, so that we budgeted over a 2-year period.
Okay. Any comments on the safety path study?
The only comment I'll say is, in the letter from NFE, it says that they're planning to get started mid to late March, but if the weather improves, they'll start earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hope it does improve.
Yeah, this has been a wild
That'd be
winter.
great.
Line item I-6, light pole flag design. So one of our design subcommittees got together. We threw around some ideas. We like the theme, you know, it's America's birthday, 250 years. There is a beautiful logo that's been used for, I think, the Thanksgiving Day game, the Christmas game, and it's on the Chrysler Building. Looks like a ribbon. So we looked into that and seeing, you know, what are the requirements to use that, because I noticed it has a TM, so it's trademarked. On that website, it said that there wasn't necessarily a financial demand for what they wanted to use the logo, but there was a donation available and some requirements to use it. And then during that conversation, it had come up that we have our own a separate board through the township that is a 250-year committee. I don't know what the exact name is for it, but they already had to see if they have a logo, and they already do. And so because of that, we don't want to have conflicting designs throughout the township. So it was discussed amongst the three of us that we would use the design that they already have for flags. So now that we have all the board members here, unfortunately, I just got this, I think, today or yesterday, so I wasn't able to give it to Jen to make sure it was part of the packet. But it is, this is what the design is right here. I don't know if you can see it on, you can zoom in, TV. I don't know if they can zoom. But it says Clarkson
There you
Independence
go.
Township.
He's zooming, he's
Oh,
zooming.
oh, he's zooming? Get my good side. That's Sam. So,
I love it.
I like,
love
it's
it.
not, it's oval in this picture. I don't think
Yeah,
it's supposed to be
it's-
oval, it's supposed to be
But
round.
it says on it Clarkson. Can
Well,
It does
Dave-
say Clarkston.
What
can we
size?
change that to Independence?
Well, it
It
says
says
above.
Clarkston
Here's what's-
Independence.
Here's what's
Township.
interesting, is that if that came out from Joette,
Yes.
Independence will be top.
So this hasn't been
Joette
approved,
is
you don't
working
think?
for the Independence Township, not Clarkston, the village.
I was surprised that it said Clarkston, because they're two
Well,
different cities, but I,
Probably because it's tied to the library and everything too, you know?
But Joette, I put that committee
Mm.
together,
Right.
and so it's a township committee, and that's the first time I've seen it.
Well, I don't think, I mean, it could, I
Convert
don't,
them.
it
Just convert
could
them.
just say Independence Township on top of it. What, isn't it gonna be elongated, so wouldn't an
Yeah.
oval be better than a
oval-
round?
yeah, I mean,
You know?
we could probably get squares, I don't.
Yeah.
Since
That's
So
not a problem.
the actual design is a square. It's just on an oval background there.
Yeah,
And that I actually hadn't seen the tan background before. I only seen the
That
dark
wasn't the
ones.
one we had yesterday, was it? It
No,
wasn't
I,
tan.
yeah. it-
Are you
I took
three
a-
on the committee?
Yeah. I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah, did you see
Yeah.
that?
So I have the designer's information. It's a company we use on the border of Clarkston and Oxford. So I'll reach out to them, get the original file, and then you can provide it to your, whoever's making the flags or.
back to Chuck's point though, is this, if you're on that committee and this is the first time you're seeing it, has this not been approved?
That's the first time I've seen it.
Okay.
That's what I can tell you.
Because we're in the 250th year, so
Yeah.
Well, there's-
I mean,
something we should get.
There's
approved
T-shirts and other
design.
things that have been produced with that on it, so,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, we're moving forward without you.
you know, she doesn't have a budget, so I don't know how she's doing it.
Well, the
But she was
question
doing
is-
donations too, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what is the shape of the flag? Are they elongated or are they big squares?
So it was 2 by 4 feet, but that was with our original design was gonna be rectangular, so we haven't created the signs, they have square signs.
And that could
Or-
be made
or it could
rectangular, it would be
be-
just fine.
I think, well, I'm just saying, I think a flag on the pole would look better, more lineal than
Mhm.
square. And this attributes to that.
The oval?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, I
Sure.
think, isn't there some requirements on how the things get attached by the
The hooks.
MDOT and all that, because it's their poles? 'cause
Well,
it's-
Dave still puts them up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right, but the
but I think there
shape-
was some requirements on the attachment. I don't know if you can, I think if
It
you do it
can't be-
long, you need to.
18 feet is the limit, so it can't be lower than 18.
No, I mean, just from the brackets, I think there was something on the brackets too, but I don't remember exactly.
Dave probably could confirm the size that would work
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the, because he did the bracket work, you know? I don't,
What if we
Per-
just took the Clarkston off that sign and just said Independence Township?
that's what I was,
Yeah,
you know.
that would make sense.
it's kind of.
Because it's already a lot of words on there.
It
feels
is.
cluttered.
And nobody knows where they live.
Well, I think everybody, at first glance, people are just gonna look at the bell and the stripes and the stars, so they probably won't even realize that.
I think it's, the
not-
first thing I see is Clarkson.
So do
Yeah.
I. That's
But it's-
immediately. You
I-
see the first line because you
Stands
want to know
out.
if it's important.
I do think that having the word Clarkston there makes it Independence Township less visible
Mhm.
as you're, looking at it.
Because I think you're right. It's, you skip over that Independence Township, then you go to the graphics.
Yeah,
And,
because Independence
um,
Township's too small to read it while you're driving.
Well,
They have their own flags downtown, which they
We
have
don't
their
own
own
it
budget
yet,
for, and we don't, and
Not
this
yet.
is
yeah, we
DDA
can't
money.
claim the deeds on it yet, so.
But this is DDA money for Independence Township revitalization, so I don't think it's inappropriate to have it only be Independence, especially
Yeah.
since the village has their own mechanism for their own flags, which we don't,
That's fine.
And I don't think it's a problem differentiating between Independence Township and the village, and we're gonna be going up M15
And pass.
to the end of our property, and then if they wanna pick it up with their own logo, seems
Yeah.
to make sense, but And obviously, I'm not trying to bash the village part of it, but it does make it, they're taking top billing on this design.
Yeah. Which is,
I just think if you remove the Clarkson, it would actually just flow better, because you have two at the bottom, two at the top, and then the design in the middle, so it really would be.
Symmetry.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't have an opinion.
My thought, yeah, you do. My thoughts are, if this is the design that the committee's already going with, we don't have to do it. It would be nice to match it though, or be similar to it. So if we even got rid of the Clarkson, did Independence Township, but kept everything else, I think it would still visibly match.
I
Yep.
like it. I like the Liberty Bell being back in play.
I don't like the brown behind there.
Yeah, the tan
Yeah.
doesn't go with that. Should
But
be white.
the one we saw yesterday was the navy blue
Yeah.
with the
Oh.
white
Should be navy
circle
blue.
around
That looks
it. It looks much
Navy blue, I
sharper.
like it.
That does look way better.
Yeah.
With the whites around the circle too, and then those lines look much thicker on there than they looked on this yesterday.
Well, it's, I
The
don't know, it's
lines?
got
Oh,
stretched
those?
somehow.
Yeah, and that's
In
better
there.
because you got a border and everything, so, not that the public can see it,
Yeah.
but.
I agree, that original design that I saw looks much
Much
better.
better. And it could have been
plus,
'cause you
if this
printed
is,
it, but-
if the flags are white, they're gonna look dirtier, dingier, so having a navy
Mhm.
blue and letting that white pop probably is
Yeah,
better.
and the purpose of the navy blue is then it keeps it red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
Oh, you're good. You guys are
Okay.
good.
so we can all agree that the logo is good
No.
and that darker color without the Clarkston.
Yeah, without the Clarkson, okay.
Okay.
All right, so Dave, I'll get the original file from the designer, and then we'll update it and send it off to your folks.
Okay. And have them.
Do we
remove
need to
Clarkston.
wait for approval
Yeah.
for you to use this logo? Or
No.
are you approving now?
I'm approving it
Okay.
now.
Okay.
All
Like
right,
it.
Overstep.
any other thoughts? Good? Okay, I don't see anybody online from the public still. And so that was, line item J. K, authority comments. None. So unless,
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, great meeting, thanks
Thanks,
guys.
Dick.
Bye, Dick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back.